Good evening, and welcome to the Blue Nose Ability Arts and Film Festival Songwriters Showcase. My name is Jessica Ward, and I'm the program manager here at reachAbility, and I help to direct the Blue Nose Ability Arts and Film Festival, or as we call it, BAF. We would like to start the evening with a land acknowledgement. We want to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We are honored to work and serve on this land. We also want to say that we stand with the protesters across Canada, the United States, and around the globe, demanding an end to police brutality and racism. We acknowledge the deep and powerful challenges faced by the Black community here in Nova Scotia, in Canada, and around the world. Black Lives Matter. This evening, we are really excited to be joined by 4 Nova Scotian artists, and we think you're going to have a really great time. So I'm going to turn the show over to my host, Josh Dunn. Josh has been a longtime ally of the Blue Nose Ability Arts and Film Festival. You may remember him from our 2019 BAF when we had Gnaw on This at Yuck Yucks here in Halifax. We're really excited to have Josh MC or host this event this evening, and he is going to introduce our artists for you. Take it away, Josh.
There, yeah, I was muted. I want to say I'm tremendously thrilled to be here. These are very challenging times, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us from their living room or bedroom or car or wherever you may be. I think this is going to be a wonderful show. I'm sorry I'm speaking a little too fast for the captioner, but I think we can make this work and see if I can get my head in here. So I apologize, folks. Taylor Swift was supposed to host this show, but poor Taylor has caught chicken pox, so she is busy scratching, so it's been left to me. They found me at Westmount Elementary School. I was on my crutches doing the jumping jacks, smoking a cigarette. They thought I must be the phys ed teacher, but it turns out I was in Mrs. Richardson's grade 6 class. I've never done this before. I won't say I'm nervous. I'll just say I'm confused. In all seriousness, it is a delight to be here. This is the close of BAF's events for the past few days around International Disability Day. We have some tremendous musicians here for you tonight. I'm going to intro them in one moment and then read you a poem. We will be sort of going piece for piece. I will give you their intros before I do my poem, and then we can cut right to them and get it going. So I must say to everybody, welcome to the show. Okay, so on tap this evening, besides poor old Josh doing some poems, we have John B. Main. He is 24, a blues, rock and roll, and country pianist and singer. He was born in North Carolina, but moved at the age of 2. Sorry, something just came up to distract me. I apologize. He by my definition, that makes him 107, but I'm never very good at math. He's played in some fantastic local bands, including with Joe Murphy, Andrew Gillis, Carson Downey, Roger House, and Shrimp Daddy. And some of his favorites are actually some of mine: B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Howling Wolf, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Hank Williams, among others. He's in his own band as well. He's frontman to his own band. And I got to say, he's a wonderful guy. We were once collecting cans outside of Sobeys, and he let me keep all $5.35 of them. So I'm happy to see what he's got to say for us. Also on the bill, we have the amazing Hanley Smith. Hanley is a non-binary musician and activist. They have been writing and performing original music as a way to express their experiences as a queer, disabled, plus-size artist. They just graduated high school last year and are currently taking psychology at Mount St. Vincent. Hanley is a leader in the Halifax LGBTQ community and has been volunteering for youth projects, and I think on the youth board. I don't know if that's for reachAbility, but I think it's a cool youth board. And I'm 37, but Hanley has been nice enough to let me copy their algebra. I'm 18th year, grade 12. I think I'm going to finally graduate next year, I hope. And also on the bill, we have, he's identified as 52 years old, Timothy V, and I'm glad he said V because I was going to pronounce his name wrongly with some zazz as Vahalali. Tim's played music since age 17, and he's been at it 35 years. He's even played Elvis in a tribute band, and what you don't know is that he is a time bender, and Elvis once opened for him in 1964. I apologize. I forgot to announce everyone's disabilities. So Hanley has, and please forgive me, Hanley can correct me on this, epidermolysis bullosa simplex, which means that they get really bad blisters quickly, and it's on the hands and feet, so they can't walk for a long time before they break out. John has PMG, which has caused partial paralysis on the left side of his body and a learning disability. And Timothy has, I believe it's fibromyalgia. I hope I got that right. If not, it's cystic fibrosis, and I'm sorry if I botched that. So that's that. That's everybody that we're going to have tonight. I hope you'll be happy to hear them. I sure will be. And we're gonna go to John after I read my first poem. And I need to preface this just a touch. This is my experience with COVID, but it was written during our first wave. It was written on April 4th, so it's a bit dated for that. But at the same time, I wanted to, not write a whole other poem about COVID. So here we are. This number is called COVID and Me. This plague has not yet descended on my lungs. I take luxuriant deep breaths and stroll along merrily until I meet a mask or a sprinter who insists on sucking down different air. Then I get a titch worried. Do they think I'm infected, or do they know they might infect me? But I regain my calm after they pass by. I rap on the door of the ghetto cantina, whether it is abandoned or nervously slinging pandemic coffee. I read either too quickly and not enough, and attempt to avoid an unpleasant encounter should a lawman decide to step out of his circling cruiser. Or I don't read a word if my knock goes unanswered. My socialization has not changed much, save a few cautious comrades who I don't see all that often anyway. I live in considerable isolation under normal circumstances, but feel blessed that the majority of my small tribe are not too paranoid to pay me a visit. My life has changed less than anyone I know, and I do not take that for granted. I keep my fears in check, but have considered them all. What if I should lose my loved ones or myself if luxuriant deep breaths become impossible? Or what if the food disappears? My bones are not sufficiently padded to survive a famine. Or what if I was due to meet my true love, but we never get to it because there are too many locked doors between us? I take solace that my tribe is well. I usually eat enough, and that even if painfully, I have loved as much as it is possible to love. And then my mind ventures beyond my own mere concerns, and I realize many have died or are deathly sick. Jobs and homes are phantoms of happier times. A friend of mine has to move away because his rent somehow shot up exponentially with the virus. I also know that those billions already in crisis before Corona are most vulnerable to its wrath. And then I see the possibility. I see the chance that with the halt of so much destructive industry, our planet can really heal. I have always believed its restorative power far surpasses the wildest dreams of the most expert climatologist. If we could nurture more than we plunder, I think we would get on a great deal better with the weather. There would be enough if we curb greed's appetite. This is not Hitler. This is not nuclear war. This is not clinging on to debris in the water. Many of us can still take luxuriant deep breaths. This could be our greatest chance. There were dire crises before this began. Let's alleviate them before it's all over. I'm going to kick it to John, and he's going to sing some songs, and then whoever wants to, I think maybe Hanley can go after that, and then we'll go to Tim and back to me. Take it away, John. Have a great time, buddy.
We have a little bit of video mic.
Okay. So the first song I'm gonna do is one I wrote a little while back, but I feel like it accurately captures the overall feeling that people have during these times with COVID and whatnot. This is something called "Fear and Misery." It's tortured my soul till I just can't sleep at night. It's tortured my soul till I just can't sleep at night. This fear and misery, I've had it all my life. These pills and white lightning, they do nothing to soothe my soul. These pills and white lightning do nothing to soothe my soul. I guess this fear and misery is all I'll ever know. Sleepless nights, they're nothing that's new to me. These sleepless nights, they're nothing that's new to me. You slow down dirty blues, got me sad as a man can be. I guess this fear and misery is all I'll ever know. Thank you.
Played it. Oh, that's so cool. That was so good. Ugh, I love music. If
any of you were here around this time last night, you will recognize me as a member of the Digital Matters program here at Reach, where I actually sang this first song I'm going to sing. So sorry if it's a repeat for any of you, but I just feel like it's a good representation of my love of writing specifically. The lyrics in this one are my favorite. So this is called Come to Mind. In late summer, I take notice out the window. The neon lights of spring faded away. All the bright colors traded for deep ones. Looks like an old oil painting of a field of golden hay. You're climbing a painted tree, just asking me to play. When I snap back to reality, the dream I had agrees to subside. My thoughts, of course, had been pulled towards you, like a boat is pulled to the tide. If I told you that, you'd punch me in the side. I don't know what I'm looking for, but when I get love from you, I know I want more, and I can't tell what we will find. But I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. Oh, I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. I've tried to shift out of focus with confusing joy. You just come back into view. I can never see when I take off my glasses, but that old trick doesn't work on you, 'cause you got me new ones and they're rose tinted too. In my confusion I try to do some research. The lovers don't got time to author written word. Can't read for extra credit in a subject I never took. So how do I learn not to flirt like a nerd? Tried writing the song, but God, this one's the third. No, I don't know what I'm looking for, but when I get love from you, I know I want more, and I can't tell just what we will find. But I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. Oh, I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. Well, I don't know what I'm looking for, but when I get love from you, I know I want more, and I cannot tell just what we will find. But I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. I guess love's the first thing to come to mind. Now don't get me wrong, I'm still scared to the bone, 'cause so many people have been so unkind. But even fearful skeletons need to let go. But I don't know what could happen if we were intertwined. But I know the first thing that comes to mind.
I have a feeling when we don't get to talk to each other when we're doing this, folks at home. So, Hanley, great job. There's nothing like a love song to kick off a night, is there? I got kind of a different. It's kind of a love song. It's a love song about my hometown, my home city. We're hailing to you from Halifax, folks. So here's a great song that I wrote a few years back. It's called "The Big Old City." Now, like Josh had said, I'm 52 years old, so I actually grew up in what I like to consider the greatest generation of all time, and that was the 70s. And back then, it was a great time to be a kid. You could go out and play with your friends, and when the street lights came on, you knew that was time to come home. There was no cell phones. We actually played street hockey. That was a thing, and I'm sure it's still a thing. But yeah, it was a really great time, and I really find that we don't have the same kind of feel as we did in the 70s. So anyway, I'll be quiet and just start singing. This is called "The Big Old City." I was born in the big old city. It was the best damn time I had ever had. When I think back about that city, good old memories keep on coming back. I remember early mornings, walking with my brother to school. Come afternoon to early evening, playing outside till the streetlights came on. That was cool. Taking me back to those times we had, running the streets and acting fool. Street hockey and bikes and neighborhood kick the can, learning all the golden rules. I was born in the big old city. It was the best damn time I had ever had. When I think back about that city, good old memories keep on coming back. I remember the radio DJ. He played my favorite records and I sang along. Never knew what he looked like. He was my friend. He played my songs. Take me back to those times we had, running the streets and acting fool. Street hockey and bikes, neighborhood kick the can, breaking all the golden rules. I was born in the big old city. It was the best damn time I had ever had. When I think back about that city, good old memories keep on coming back. I was born in the big old city. It was the best damn time I had ever had. When I think back about that city, good old memories keep on coming back. Good old memories keep on coming back. The good old memories out of That's the big old city. Back to you, Josh.
Yes, fantastic, Timothy. It is the big old city. I was -4 in 1979, so I missed those great 70s memories, and I'm having a hard time with everybody going the song for song because I'm a person who needs to pee a lot. So I'm a bit challenged here, but I want to say one wonderful love song by Handley and wonderful song to set up the times by John. I'm going to let you guys in on one more little secret that might have escaped everybody, because we were told this was our only requirement for this show, that we must wear pants. I personally am down about pants, so you're not going to see this, but I'm wearing the bottom half of a toga. Oh yes, some guitar punchline riff. I dig it. Okay, so my next, I didn't identify, I didn't say what I have. I have cerebral palsy, so you'll see me walking around with crutches or using a scooter sometime, or maybe hobbling indoors. There's some invisible aspects to that. In particular, I finally got on the right medication for this, but I have a sleep disorder that is considerably debilitating. And so I decided to write this poem on the just the idea of dreaming, and it's called Dreaming. Under the spell of sleep, our experience doesn't unfold the same as when awake. There is an element of timelessness, as events and logic often appear Picasso-faced, yet they make perfect sense until we wake. Dreams are a more exceptional version of our waking reality. It is rare that our worst fears or our dearest wishes are realized when awake. But while asleep, anything can happen. The yin and the yang of life is all there on an infinite scale. Perhaps because I've spent most of my adult life awake, or maybe because the hue of the rainbow is more potent and varied, I'd prefer to be asleep. I can't visit with Billy Bob or still be with you when in the waking world. But I must say, I'm grateful to come to, so that I'm not actually kidnapped or don't have to go to high school again. Hanley won't let me copy their papers anymore. The sands of time have been better to me recently. I'm seldom awake more than I should be, and real life has been blessed with true friendship and more artistic accomplishment than I could have dreamed possible. But I still long for better health, a romantic life, and an escape from poverty for everyone. I've got a hunch my greatest artistic achievement may be yet to come. Dreams realized have meant I can hope for more. Whether sleeping or awake, I dream more and bigger than ever. I'm going to throw it back to John. Take it away, John.
All right, you got it, Josh. Something that just kind of bounced around in my head when you mentioned 1979. In 1979, I was, if my math is correct, which I'm also kind of bad at math, but my math is correct. In 1979, I was negative 17 years old. Anyway, that's aside the point. The song I'm going to do for you now is one I wrote a few years back. It was supposed to be kind of like a heartbreak love song, if you will. But what happened was I had this melody bouncing around in my head for a few years, and I started writing this song, and then my pet bird died, which, you know, for lack of a better term, sucked pretty bad. But so anyone who's ever owned an animal and loves that animal knows what it's like to lose an animal that they care about very deeply. But I figured this song really serves better as a song about loss, and whether it's a pet or a loved one, whoever. This is something that I call When the Sky Turns Blue. Well, it's early in the morning. The sky is turning blue. torture. My heart split in two. I won't know what to do when the sky turns blue without you. Early in the morning till late at night, I stand alone and I cry, and I won't, yes I won't, everything to just be right. Early in the morning till late at night, I stand alone and I cry, and I won't, yes I won't, everything to just be right. Crying 100 tears or two, and I'll cry 100 more when the sky turns blue without you. When the sky turns blue without you.
Yes, I love that so much. That was so beautiful to listen to. Oh, I won't bring up how old I was in '79 because that will only further upset you, as I am literally a child. I'm 18. I'm not literally a child, but I am also literally a child. While we're on the topic of death, let's keep this fun chain rolling. And I will be singing a song that I wrote towards the beginning of COVID, a fun theme that I wrote just about this idea of like sitting there and thinking to myself, like, what happens if this gets to me? What happens? What do I say to my friends? Because to me, like, that experience of chosen family is very apparent in my heart. And so this is Learn to Love, and here we go. I'm sitting on my back porch on a lazy afternoon, just thinking about the time we spend together. Just trying to remember the smell of morning dew and the feeling of old fake leather. When the thought goes through my head, we are always running out And if where I go to sleep tonight is my final bed, well, I have left you with any peace of mind. If there's one thing that I could leave you with, if I were to suddenly go up above, I would give you this blessing to put me at ease. Oh, that you, my friend, that you would learn to love. Learn to love the rain when it falls. Learn to love the feeling on your skin. Learn to love the inconvenient detour. And learn to love the world we are in. Now, that may be a little morbid, I know, as I'm talking about death and the weather. But it's always been the two of us as we both have grown through rainy April and cold December. Did I truly help when life was tough? Was I ever a good example? And have I done it all right enough? If I'm gone tomorrow, will you have it handled? If there were one thing that I could leave you with, if I were to suddenly go up above, I would give you this blessing to put me at ease. Oh, that you, my friend, that you would learn to love. Learn to love the person that you're up against. And learn to love the game if you don't win. Learn to love the quiet kind of protest. And learn to love the world we are in. Learn to love the things that you can't hold. And learn to love when someone lifts up your chin. Learn to love yourself without a reminder. And learn to love the world we are in. Learn to love a world I'm not in. Hey.
Amy, you got some talent, girl. Wow, that's cool.
Please don't call me girl.
In a different instrument too. That's so cool. Another love song, I love it. I kind of have a love song too from a gentleman you may remember. His name is John Lennon, and I think this song is ageless and it's kind of important at the time that we're going through. So let's just make sure we stay out there and love each other. This is Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ooh. if you can. No need for greed or hunger. The brotherhood of man, yeah. Imagine all the people sharing all the world in love. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. No, hope someday you join us, and the world will live as one. And the world will live as one. And the world will live as one. Thank you so much. On to you, Josh.
Timothy, that was absolutely fantastic. I can't think of a more appropriate song for today's time. John Lennon, Imagine, another one of the greats who was snuffed out much too early. I wanted to comment on Hanley's song as well. I've been thinking a lot lately about a world without me and what that might look like, so that touched me personally. And I wanted to talk about John's song, and I think he had a really interesting juxtaposition of, the sky being blue, but that being more of a sad thing. We normally associate, sunniness with bright and happy, and I think he had a wonderful contrast of a sky being blue and kind of being the blues. I hope I heard that right. It was a beautiful song nonetheless, even if I've botched that interpretation. I just want to, Kelsey, can you come on for a second? Can you come on? I just want to talk to you. Hello? No, maybe not. Here's my dilemma. We are due to end significantly early, and I think
You're wanted by Josh. We have a Kelsey.
Okay. I think we're due to end significantly early, and I just is that cool, or like, do you want to, once we have our next round, do you want to have like a little maybe round table about what it means to be a disabled artist for like a few minutes, or how do you want to call this?
I think that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll just I think our ASL is done at 9 sharp. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, so we don't have any like dead space or awkwardness. And so I will do my final poem, and then we'll have another round of songs. I'll skip to the bathroom with bits of that, and then we'll have a little tiny discussion if time permits. So I want to say wonderful job by everybody. Thank you so much. Before I do the poem,
get out of here, Kelsey, get out of here.
I'm going to sing a quick goodbye. Arrivederci, people. Okay, so this final poem here, I just finished this yesterday, and I want to dedicate this to everybody who is disabled in general, who knows the struggle of having a disability. And I also want to dedicate this specifically to Mara Toombs, because she had asked me to write something specific for International Disability Day, and I think that's absolutely appropriate and contextual. And Mara is leaving reachAbility for other pastures, but I think that she has been, to this point, most responsible for some of the opportunities I've had. So I want to wish Mara the best. I hope she enjoys the show, and I hope you all like this poem. It is called Disabled as You See Me. This day should be cause for celebration, but you won't see me don a hat or blow a party kazoo. I suppose I should be grateful that I was allowed to have my point, and especially that you can hear my voice. But just because things could be worse doesn't mean they are good. My body screams with pain, and my pissing keeps me by myself. I can't run with scissors. My welfare slip was once disqualified because my hand cut too far from the perforation line. I still walk every day with my broken crutches. In spite of my malfunctions, I lope along with supreme confidence. Yeah, I am lean and strong and ooze cool with every breath. Come kiss my ring, and I will grant you any wisdom I can. But I am a giant in a small and precarious world. Should my health fail, I might lose my apartment and be forced somewhere I don't belong. Care ain't free, and many of us are warehoused if we don't have the muscles or the means to look after ourselves. If it were just my body, the broken and beautiful Ferrari that has to return home to make never ending pit stops, I could still ride along smoothly. But your attitude toward it gives me such whiplash, I might never recover. You tell me I'm brilliant, but you won't give me any real money. Yet those awkwardly perforated welfare slips make me grateful for every penny. You tell me I'm gorgeous, but you can't love me that way. I can only be grateful to an extent for the love you give me. Knowing that my children, knowing that my children can never change the world if they are never born. So then I wish it all away. You would know miracle if I could just believe hard enough, freed from this curse to walk among you as an equal human being. But I'm not sure such miracle can occur within the laws of physics. So then I wish myself away into a dimension where I can fly, where I don't have to occur within the laws of physics, and I'm not seen as less than in any way. But no, there must be a point to all of this. Why I'm here now in this body, I must be able to change your perceptions so that someone after me with huge gumption and greatness doesn't have to struggle so hard. Please listen to what I'm saying. I won't be here forever. So sorry that my Chinese food wouldn't leave me alone, but thanks a bunch, everybody, and I'm going to throw it back to John for his last song. Take it away, John. Knock 'em out.
Thank you, Josh. I'm actually very glad that you picked up on that thing, the juxtaposition in my song about the sky turning blue, which is supposed to be kind of nice, nice clear day, but it's turning blue without you. That's the thing that's wrong. So as for being an artist with a disability, I'll keep this quick. I forget if you wanted us to mention this now or later, but just in case you wanted it to be now. For me, it seems like people are kind of fascinated. Like a lot of the time, they don't even realize that I am disabled. I'll be like, hey, yeah, I play with one finger on my left hand and all five on my right. And like, wow, really? What? I didn't even notice. What does that even mean? Not that silly, but it seems like it also serves as a bit of inspiration to some people, and I've been lucky enough to meet with some people who have said that I inspired them, and to me that's very humbling, and I kind of feel honored that I have such an impression on someone's life. But anyway, I'll quit the yakking and whatnot. This is a song I wrote specifically for a CD I put out a few years back. It's track number 6. It's called "I Don't Have You Anymore," and it's really, this really is kind of like a heartbreak love song. This is a weird situation where we didn't want to break up, but circumstances just weren't in our favor, so we kind of had to. So that's what this song's about. I still love you, baby, but I don't have you anymore. I still love you, baby, but I don't have you anymore. And I'm hurting all the time, hurting like never before. We were so happy together, I guess it just wasn't in the stars. We were so happy together, guess it just wasn't in the stars. And I'm crying all the time, yeah. You know it's torn my heart apart. I hope someday things can change. I hope someday things can change. You know I ain't religious, but damn it, I'll get on my knees and pray. I know it ain't your fault, baby, and I know it wasn't mine. I know it wasn't your fault, baby, and I know it wasn't mine. But all the same now, baby, don't you know I'm standing here crying? I hope someday, I said I hope someday things can change. I hope I said I am religious. Damn it, I'll get on my knees and pray. Goodbye, baby. If I never see you no more. Goodbye, baby. If I never see you no more. I've been crying so hard. You know all these tears are on my floor.
Yes. Every single time that it cuts to me, it just cuts to, like, impromptu me just sitting there going, yes! Because I just, jazz. Just, Speaking of, this next song is definitely my most jazzy of my songs. You know what they say, if somebody does something real good, go right after them and do it worse. Do it different. Do it different. This is called Quiet Anxieties. It definitely, of these songs, is the most tied to my disability, in the fact of like my relationship with it and how I have expressed myself as an artist and what that relates to in my music, and my like anxiety disorder that I have, and how that's affected me. So let's turn it on. There we go. Pull me tight into your hips, babe. Get drunk with me through the night. I wrote this song like one of the hits, but for me it just ain't right. Could write about the Mary Jane, or maybe write a love song too. Do I really need to be relatable if it's stuff I just don't do? Quiet anxieties, I'll just write about all of these. Quiet anxieties, I'll just write about all of these. I don't want the man to hold me tight, or the woman to weigh me down. Quiet anxieties, I'll just write about all of these. Let's go dance at all the parties. What if I said I could make you purr? There's one thing that I can't promise, is that I won't be in the corners. Drugs and sex, all you care about, that never seem to make you fall. It seems that all you really think of is how the brain will take its toll. Can I just write about all of these? I don't want the man to hold me tight, nor the woman to wear me down. Quiet anxieties. Can I just write about all of these? Someone told me years ago, change myself, I'd be a star. And all that person left me with was a big old nasty scar. Someone told me years ago, if I changed myself, I'd be a star. And all that person left me with is a big old nasty scar. Someone told me years ago, if I changed myself, I'd be a star. And all that person left me with is a big old nasty scar. Someone told me years ago, if I changed myself, I'd be a star. And all that person left me with is this big old nasty scar. So pull me tight into your hips, babe, and get drunk with me through the night. I wrote this song, thought it'd be a hit, but for me it just ain't right.
Nice job, David. I want to just clarify early on, Josh. I'm not sure if Josh got my disability correct. Right? I thought you said fibromyalgia. It's not that. I actually have cystic fibrosis, which is a pretty nasty lung and digestive system disease. You probably may or may not have heard a lot about it in the news these days. There's an amazing gene modulating medication coming out called Trikafta that we are desperately trying to get approved here in Canada. It's available in 27 other countries, and we're still waiting for the system to catch up so that CFers like myself can breathe a heck of a lot better than we are right now. Anyway, so yeah, cystic fibrosis is my thing. I'm going to play a song that I wrote quite a few months back. It's dedicated to the folks who suffered insurmountable heartbreak during the Portapic tragedy. But it's actually it's not about the tragedy itself. It's about the strength of us Nova Scotians. That was a horrible thing to go through, and we're very strong people. We're very strong right now as we go through this pandemic. So just keep doing what you got to do, and wear that mask and socially distance and take care of yourselves and stay in your bubble as long as you can until we get this thing figured out. Anyway, this is a song I wrote back then with a couple of my friends. It's called Home to Me. Somewhere between where the ocean waves crash upon the shore and a highway made for heroes not with us anymore. Hearts of the people in this eastern place, deeper than spring-hill mines, and the history of our sailors found there on the dime. Folks from this part of the country, different than all the rest, we got a special something deep down in our chest. Nova Scotia is where I roam. Nova Scotia, that's my home. Nova Scotia is where I'll be. Nova Scotia is home to me. Rita sang of the men down deep, breathing the dust of cold. As the fiddles echo the stories of men whose lives it stole. Further down the southern shore, there's a light, a Cape Horseshoe. It lights the way for the fishermen on the great Atlantic blue. Halifax has a giant hill, you can see it for miles around. You walk down Argyle Street for the East Coast sound. Nova Scotia is where I roam. Nova Scotia, that's my home. Nova Scotia is where I'll be. Nova Scotia is home to me. Wherever you may travel, from one border to the next, no matter where we all connect. In Nova Scotia, you'll find home. Nova Scotia is where I roam. Nova Scotia, that's my home. Nova Scotia is where I'll be. Nova Scotia, it's home to me. Nova Scotia is where I roam. Nova Scotia, that's my home. Nova Scotia is where I'll be. Nova Scotia, it's home to me. Home to me. Home to home to me. Stay safe, everybody.
Yes, Timothy V, everybody. That's yeah, what a horrible tragedy that we all went through as a province during that, surpassing the Montreal massacre. And I don't know if I'm on right now or not. I can't see myself on here, but I'm gonna talk anyway. Yeah, so I wanted to comment too on on John's song. I know very deeply what it's like to not be with somebody and still love them very deeply. So that was a beautiful song. And on to Hanley's song as well, I know what it means to have been involved with people that leave you with nothing but scars. So you kind of question, why did I even, like, what's the point of this? And all I can say to that is, I think from nothing but scarring experiences, you learn your best to try to avoid them and give your scars time to heal. I suppose that would be my takeaway. We and oh yes, and Tim's disability. I was trying to put the stuff in my own words and make it zazzy, and I was looking at the screen and drew a blank, and I said fibromyalgia or cystic fibrosis. I couldn't remember, and it is cystic fibrosis. So my apologies for the disability slip up. A guy like me should know better. So what I guess I wanted to do, because we still have a bit more time, I wanted to ask, like, as artists in particular, have you felt challenges like getting, and we'll start with we'll go in the same order that we did. We'll go back to John. Have you had challenges like getting opportunities, being disabled, getting work?
Do I have the floor yet, or?
Yeah, it's you,
Okay.
man.
Make sure. So have I had any struggles getting work?
Yeah, in particular to your music and stuff. Yeah.
Um, I don't think so. Like I said, a lot of people don't know that I'm disabled until I tell them that I am, or that I show them. It's like, that they'll come up to me, and we'll be talking, and I'll be like, Oh yeah, by the way, do you ever notice I play like this with my left hand and I'm going like this with my right hand? And like, I never noticed that. Um, so I don't know. I don't think I've ever really experienced myself anyway. You know, I'm not saying that no one has, but myself, I've never experienced any struggles, whether it be like a prejudice thing or something else when it comes to getting gigs. Um, the only struggles I really ever have are with anxiety when I get up on stage, and it's not an every time thing. It's just sometimes my own anxiety disorder decides, you know what, you might panic up on stage. So you know, you kind of have to work with that, and you just try to work around it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe I got a little off topic there, but in terms of getting work, no, I've been fortunate not to have had struggles getting work based on the fact that I'm disabled.
That's great. I think this shows, that everybody's experience can be very different, and I think in your case, it might be your own, in anxiety, and also maybe there might be some times when people, when you're not so visibly disabled as say I would be, that people might have a hard time, like, oh really, like you're just so disabled, so it might be that kind of like people don't believe you or something. And I wanted to ask, like, Hanley, as a really young, just adult now, like what's your experience been like as a disabled artist, sort of just starting out?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been strange. So for me, I had a hard time viewing myself as a musician, like really valuing my art as something that is worth something to other people. And I think that very much so stems from the idea of like, I love music and I always loved musical theater. But my voice was always good, but I never had a body that could do anything for it. So like I can't dance, like it's physically not possible. I simply won't be able to walk for a week afterwards. And like I am plus size, so when I did get cast as roles, it was always, I played Edna from Hairspray 4 times. 4 times. Because like that is what fat people are cast as. Like that's just the box that I had to fill. So learning to like value myself as a musician was really difficult as a disabled person, and that's what like Reach really did for me. Was the executive director of the youth project was like, hey, I just heard about this grant, you need to sign up for it because you are an artist who is disabled and you should be able to like make money off of the things that you do. And I'm like, okay, I'll sign up for it, but I don't expect to get anything. And then I got into the Digital Matters program, and from that I've started to be able to really view my music as something that like matters, just, and that like my disability is something that has affected my music and made it better, and made it more interesting and more thorough, which has been really, really interesting to see. And to that point, my first ever released music, my EP will be out very soon. So like that will be proof of the fact that my music is like tangible for the first time, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that you've got a physical CDM product coming out so young. I think it's amazing the work that reachAbility is doing, helping young artists, so that they don't have to perhaps struggle as long as I did. I totally can see being like typecast, like people always wanted me to play, and I haven't done much acting, but in those kinds of things, people always wanted me to play like the wheelchair villain, or like Professor X or something like that. And my hair is far too long to pull that one off. I'm not receding yet. So I just we'll throw it to Tim here, in terms of, because I assume you've had your CF all your life, and that maybe not, I don't know, but as a you're the we're kind of the older cats in the table here. What's your experience been like as an artist with disability?
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Oh, did I lose you? I'm back, and we're back. Hey, sorry about that technical issue here. Yeah, I'm going to be 53 years old in January, and I've had this illness my whole life. It is a hereditary illness. Cystic fibrosis is. And one of my messages, I do a fair amount of motivational speaking for all sorts of audiences. And what I always try to get people to walk away with, one, is knowing that my disability doesn't own me. I own it. I don't let it influence my life. I have to respect it, obviously. So I have to really, do what I have to do to take care of myself, but I don't let it take over. One of the you guys were talking about challenges of having an illness and doing music as well. Well, honestly, except for way back in the Smoky Bar days, which don't exist and they haven't existed for I don't know how many years now. But when the bars were smoky and I was playing in them, it was very difficult because CF, like I said, is a lung disease, and my air is slowly getting choked off by cigarette smoke. So thank God that's not around anymore. One of the cool things about being a singer is I've always used singing as a barometer for my health. And you've seen me sing some pretty big songs there, and I really like the big stuff. I cut my teeth on guitar playing and singing with the likes of Bon Jovi and all those crazy 80s rock bands, and that's where I get into my vein. So trying to do those songs, you really got to be able to, one, control your breath. You got to have the breath in you, and I'm in front of you today. I'm only breathing at 45% lung function, which is still, it's doable, but you have to know how to do it. One of the more difficult parts of being a singer, and I've played in many bands over the years, is when I am sick, I can't just not show up for work. I have 3, 4, 5 other buddies in a band depending on me, because I'm the lead man. I'm the main singer of these bands. So there have been some difficult times where I had a very hard time performing that all night long, but I would just punch through it as best I can. Obviously, if my illness got the better of me and I ended up in hospital, well, those gigs are kaput. But my mom and dad were instrumental in my attitude, and they always said, you can do anything you put your mind on. It doesn't matter what illness you have, what challenge you have, rich, poor, short, tall, fat, whatever your challenges you have, you've got to find a way to deal with it, and just know that you can achieve anything you put your mind on. You absolutely can. I'm 53 years old almost, living with cystic fibrosis, and I'm one of the oldest cystics that I know of, at least in Nova Scotia. And I'm very, very proud of that. I've lost lots of friends with this illness, but I keep doing what I can in their spirit. Anyway, I've said enough. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I think that's amazing, positive attitude to have, and to just get that breath out with only the 45% capacity is remarkable and really needs to be commended. I sometimes have the absolute positive attitude that you do, but unfortunately, times for me, I do feel that my disability kind of owns me, and I've been told, after like having really good sets by like club bookers, like, geez, like, you're pretty funny, but I don't know if they know what to think, because I crawl onto the stage and things like that. And one time someone said, oh, go in and see like Megan Leslie, and Megan is known as a progressive sort of giant, when and she told me, she said, Josh, I just don't know if people can laugh at someone with a disability. So personally, I feel that I have been treated unfairly a lot of times, not completely. I've got 4 arts grants. I have a theater show, a 26 episode deep podcast called Yippin' Ain't Easy. I've been doing stand up for 14 years. I've been doing poems for about 9. I've got a film coming out a documentary on romance disability, so that'll be around. But yeah, like I'm still here. I'm doing the best I can. I want to say I think everybody did a wonderful job. Very, we were dealing with technical distortions and all that stuff. So that was really hard to do, but I think everybody did a wonderful, tremendous bang up job. Very moving, and you've shown that, with disability puts no limit on talent. That's for damn sure. And I wanted to say quickly, just everybody check out. They've been doing wonderful events the last few days all around International Disability Day, and that's BAAFF.ca, Go check that out. And and I want to just give one quick chance for anybody else to say anything else they want to, and we'll just throw it to Kelsey if not. But anybody wants to say anything, please go ahead, jump in right now.
Great night. Thank you for a great night.
Thank you, guys. So proud to be part of this event. And John, Hanley, Josh, fantastic job.
It was so awesome to be here. This was such a beautiful opportunity. If you want to see when my music comes out, you can follow me on Instagram, oddly_Hanley. It's the best way to see what I'm going to do next. But other than that, it was truly a blessing to get to be here with you guys.
I also feel honored and happy to have been a part of this. So I want to thank you guys for having me on here. I really must say that I'm very impressed with everyone's talent. Hanley, I like your choice of chords for your songs. Not the last one you did, but the second one you did kind of reminded me of like a Death Cat for Cutie song. And I can't remember which one, but it sounded. Yeah, no, I guess I should plug myself as well. So if you want to follow me, you can follow my music page on Facebook. It's John B. Main Music. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's probably kind of bad that I don't 100% remember my Instagram name, but I'm pretty sure it's John Becker Main. Becker is Becker. If you're interested in finding that album that I mentioned earlier, you can find it on Spotify and Apple Music, just online. So yeah, no, I'm very happy to have been a part of this again, and everyone just has such a great, unique talent, and I just feel very honored that I was part of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Take it away, Kelsey. My pleasure.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Tim, Hanley, and John. It was really a pleasure to have you all here. We've been following along in the other room and putting lots of emojis in the feed, and it was really great. And Josh, I think that you will really be amused when you go back and watch the captioning, because the captioners just got some really funny mishaps. We'll just say that. So you'll really enjoy it. Go look it up about 5 minutes ago, and I think you'll find it quite funny. I wanted to take this opportunity on behalf of the Blue Nose Ability Arts and Film Festival to say thank you. And I did make a huge list, but I promise I will talk just fast enough for captioners to still be able to get everything that I say, but quick enough to move along. So I just wanted to say thank you. We have a ton of thank yous. It's going to seem like a lengthy list, but I think it's really important to acknowledge all of the amazing talent that we've had, and the core people and the behind the scenes people that it takes to run, even just a 3-day online festival. So I wanted to acknowledge that. First and foremost, we wanted to say thank you to our funders, the Government of Canada, Building Communities Through Arts and Heritage, and also through the Canada Council for the Arts, who are our funders for our Digital Matters Youth Program, which we have had the showcase on Friday night, and you definitely need to follow up to see what all those amazing youth are doing. I wanted to say a huge thank you and recognize the amazing Nova Scotian artists who have a passion for the disability community that participated in illustrating our new book, Tova Sherman's new book, Win, 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 the 18 Inclusionisms You Need to Become a Disability Confident Employer. The artists were Lee Cripps, Kathy Callback, Susan McLeod, Lindsay Reed, Dorothy Ann Brown, Megan McDonald, Ellie Hannon, Heidi Hallett, Kirsten Carter, Tara Gruda. Oh my God, I just called her Tara for the first time ever. Tara Gruda on live TV. Judy Fong, Nigel Beck, Jeffrey Allen, and Tyler Hayden. I also want to say a huge thank you to the Digital Matters youth that I said were featured on Friday night. Mabel Wheeler, Trudy Love, Hanley Smith, who we all had the pleasure of listening to and seeing this evening, Emma Bader, who's dancing in the background, not Emma, Hanley, Megan Reed, Tyler Simmons, and Wami Joe. And we want to say thank you to the artists and to our lovely host with the most, Lynn Jones, who met and spoke about the Black, Indigenous, People of Color panel, or spoke on the panel about creating art during the pandemic. Megan Sivani, Maje, Raven Davis, Des Adams, Kayla Borden. And I would love to say thank you again to our host with the most, Josh Dunn, and the artists who performed tonight, Hanley Smith, John B. Main, and Tim Valley. And I can't go without saying, Kelsey's pointing to her, I was there. Wanted to say thank you to our staff and our lovely moderators for this weekend. Kelsey McDonald, Tara Gruda, Carrie Marshall, Blake Hunsley, who helped behind the scenes with so many things, Heidi Hallett, and of course, reachAbility CEO Tova Sherman.
And you.
And me. Jessica Ward, me, thank myself. I feel like I'm doing the Oscars. I'm almost done. But we can't do things like this, and this is really important. We can't do events like this and be able to reach a larger community without having a lot of backline. And Tova has a saying, if you watch the book release, one of her many sayings is, inclusion is different, but it's not difficult. So I just wanted to explain that in order to do these events, we had a large IT team or tech team in the background, and we can't ever do these amazing events without Atlantic Livestream. They've been our partner for years, and we want to do a big shout out to Mike and Nate. The AB captioning to Sandra and her team. We always strive to have as many accessibility services as we can, and the captioners do an amazing job. Again, Josh, you got to check that out, it's hilarious. To our ASL interpreters, we've had a number of ASL interpreters this weekend, and you might have noticed that tonight we weren't able to have any, but that's because they are in such high demand right now that we weren't able to get them. So we're really proud of all the work that they're doing, and more so proud that people are going and using that service. So keep leading that way. But I want to say a quick thank you to Aoka Junaid, Carolyn Carter, Emily Power, Beth Reed, and then finally to our dear Mayor Mike and the City of Halifax for our proclamation that he did for us on December 3rd, raising the BAF flag for the first time. We have a brand new flag at City Hall on December 3rd, the United Nations Day of People with Disabilities. So this was our 6th year for BAF for doing a celebration on December 3rd, and we look forward to doing it for many years to come. And you can stay tuned for BAF 2021, which starts on the last Sunday of May, and will continue for the entire week alongside National Accessibility Week. So as Josh said, stay tuned and be sure to check out the whole weekends of events and to see what we're doing next at www.baaff.ca. Have a great night, and thanks again for tuning in.